So let me start by asking you a question. With all my videos, have you noticed that I read from a script? And let me ask you another question, and I'd like you to make a comment, to nudge me or poke me, or just type one on the comments if you have noticed that I read from a script. Okay, so tell me now, when you read, do you silently read, or do you ever find yourself mouthing the words quietly, almost without realizing it? Maybe you do it with important documents or a message you are trying to understand properly, or a scripture that needs to sink in deeper. And I've also learned that, especially with the Bible, we are encouraged to read it loud. Yes, because it is a prophetic message. So for it to manifest, apparently, we have to read it loud. Okay? If that's you, I want you to know you might be doing something far more powerful than you realize. Okay? Because today I want to share something I discovered recently that genuinely surprised me. And by the end of this conversation, I think it might change how you see yourself too. Okay. I also learned something. Here's something most people maybe don't know. Okay, maybe you know it, but I didn't. For most of human history, reading silently was actually an exception, not the rule. Okay. The norm for thousands of years was to read out loud. Okay. People will gather together, and words will be spoken. Stories were spoken. Scriptures were spoken. Laws were spoken. Wisdom was spoken. Okay. Please bear with me. We are getting somewhere. Trust me. In ancient Greece, in Rome, in early African communities, in Asian cultures, the voice was the vehicle through which knowledge traveled. Okay. Even in early libraries, which are now associated with silence, it was completely normal to hear people reading aloud. This is interesting, right? Yes, imagine in the library, everybody's reading, everybody's saying, reading different books at the time. Yeah. Knowledge was not something you consumed quietly and alone. It was shared. It was shared by speaking out loud, reading out loud. You see, something that lived in the air between people. So silent reading only became dominant much later, when printing made books widely available and reading became a more private individual experience. You see, that's where silent reading came from. You see. But somewhere in that shift, we may have lost something valuable. Okay. Now think about this. Uh, for a moment, just think about this. Some of the most trusted, most respected communicators in the world, news anchors, read from a script. Yep, they are reading from a script. I just forgot now that they are using that a computer. I forgot the name, but they are reading from there, and the words just scroll, move up like that as they read. You see, every single podcast, every single time, the people we trust to deliver the most important information of the day are reading. Our presidents, they read from a script, you see. And nobody questions their intelligence. Nobody questions their authority. Nobody says they are not credible because they use notes. You see? So you see, I'm copying from people of high standard, so to say. Yeah, but then because reading out loud, done with intention, is not a sign of weakness. Okay? It's a sign that what is being said matters enough to get it right. Okay? And science is actually catching up to what ancient cultures already knew. The scientists, they only know it now, or they knew it later on. Okay? So research has shown that reading out loud, especially for children, accelerates language development, builds vocabulary, and strengthens listening skills in ways that silent reading simply doesn't. This is interesting, right? Yeah. Children who are read to out loud and who read out loud themselves develop stronger comprehension, better memory, retention, and deeper emotional intelligence. But here's what really caught my attention. It's not just children who benefit, okay? Studies suggest that adults who read out loud regularly show stronger memory function. Yes, better focus, improved recall. Okay. I should think that this is very important. Reading out loud has got so many benefits. And for older adults, reading out loud has been linked to helping protect the brain against cognitive decline. Yes. So you see, I should think, without trying to sound like a scientist or a brain surgeon, it helps maybe slowing down issues like Alzheimer's. I'll say that, my thinking. I'm not a scientist. Okay. The act of seeing words, speaking them, and hearing them simultaneously. So like I normally do, I read, I see, I hear what I'm reading, you see. I speak, I see, I read, all at the same time, simultaneously. Activate multiple parts of the brain at once. Yay! So benefiting. Try it. It is essentially a workout for your mind. See, so I'm working out my mind as well. Not just for children learning, not just for professionals performing, but for all of us at every stage of life. Sorry. So, and I'll be honest with you, learning all of this helped me understand myself a little better. Some of you may have already noticed, like I posed the question already, I speak quietly, I speak softly, quite slowly. You see, I'm not a fast talker. I never have been. And I read from my notes. Almost every video I have shared. For a while, that bothered me. I thought I needed to be smoother, more spontaneous, more like the creators who just switch on the camera and effortlessly speak for 20 minutes. Yeah, they are gifted, I'll say that, or they are able of doing that. So we are not the same. So I tried that. And every time I did, I left out the very important things I actually wanted to say. You see why we have to be true to ourselves. We have to be authentic. This is one of the reasons. Okay. So I came back to my notes, not out of fear, but out of respect. Respect for the message, respect for the people listening. Okay. And understanding the history, understanding the science, understanding that some of the most trusted voices in the world read from a script. It gave me permission to stop being ashamed of how I communicate. You see, reading out loud, slowly, carefully, intentionally, is not my limitation. It is my process. So I just want to encourage you. Maybe, yes, you can relate to what the message that I'm sharing now. And I want to encourage you. You see. And I'm sharing all this today because I suspect I might not be the only one. You see. Maybe you want to start your YouTube channel. You want to start something, but you have that limitation and you are scared to start. I want to encourage you. You see. Because maybe you are speaking differently to others. Maybe you process slower. Maybe you need to write things down before you can say them clearly. Maybe you have been told directly or indirectly that the way you communicate isn't quite right. I want to gently challenge that. Because what the world calls a weakness is often just a difference. And differences, when understood and embraced, become some of our greatest strengths. You see. Don't let the way you process, the way you speak, or the pace at which you think stop you from showing up. Don't let it stop you from starting that channel, like I've already said. Writing that message, having that conversation, sharing that idea. You see? Because your voice, however it sounds, however slowly it comes, matters. It truly matters. So I invite you to this now. I would like you to try something just once, okay? Take something you have been wanting to say, something that matters to you. Write it down first, okay? Then read it out loud. Just to yourself, slowly, without rushing. And pay attention to how differently the words feel when you actually hear them. How quickly you know what's true and what's not. What needs to stay and what needs to go. See? That's not a limitation. That's wisdom in practice. So, yeah. This is the message, guys, that I thought I should share with you, as I usually do when there's something. I just, chat with my chat GPTs, ask questions, and I came to ask, basically it was about me, that this is what I normally do, and how does this affect my channel from growing. And I found out that actually this is the best thing I could do for myself and for you as my subscribers, the viewers, that you get the message that I share every time the way I have it in my head, you see, without omitting any important information. So this is my reason why I use my notes in most cases, you see. So you have learned the benefit of reading out loud. You have learned where does this come from, you see. So, yeah, we live in a world that celebrates speed, that rewards instant answers and effortless delivery. But some of the most important words ever spoken to another human being were spoken slowly, carefully, with great intention. You see? Because and then I said, yes, but this is true. The news readers, they are not reading they are reading to the whole world. So it's very important that the message that they share, those announcements, they come out, correctly, straight to the point, without alteration of the message along the way. And at no stage did we become confused or get the message wrong. It always come out correctly. And that also helped us to think, to have control and to just avoid being taken to task. You see, because again, there's this thing of when you speak, then you must say allegedly. Allegedly, there's allegedly that. so you avoid even lawsuits. But most importantly, without deviating, reading out loud, you hear yourself, the reader. You understand, and you can take people step by step up to the end of the message that you want to share. So I'm very proud of myself that I'm using this method, and it makes me deliver my message the way I wanted to see it coming out, and hoping that my messages are clear. You see, there's clarity in all my messages because of the strategy or the method that I'm using. Yeah. So if that's you, if you're the one who needs a little more time, a little more preparation, a few more notes, you are in good company. This is Led by Light, second thought. Sorry. And remember, your difference is not your defeat, it's your direction. Guys, these are my notes, and I'm sharing them with you. I hope out of it you will find something meaningful for you just to start. I must say, I benefit a lot out of it. Reading out loud, I benefit a lot. You see, confident to learn new words, pronounce them, see them, hear myself say them, and I'm no longer restricted of researching any topic that is relevant for my channel, that is meaningful for you, like this one, this message, this topic. It is not only for brain surgeon, it is for all of us, because it affects most of us. Guys, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Hoping that this message found you at the right time. Remember, we once missed a step, me and you, but on second thought, we are trying again. And one day, we will be holding hands as we celebrate together. I love you guys. Stay blessed.